Today we are going to prepare a cake that is not only delicious and soft but also incredibly healthy. A cake that combines the warmth of traditional baking with the goodness of natural ingredients, giving you a dessert that can be enjoyed by children, adults, and even those who usually avoid sweets because they want to stay healthy. This cake is proof that you do not have to compromise between taste and health. You can enjoy both in one single slice. So let us begin slowly and carefully by gathering all the ingredients that will make this cake wholesome. We start with 1½ cups of whole wheat flour, which forms the base of our cake. Unlike refined flour, this flour keeps the fiber intact, which means better digestion, more energy, and a longer feeling of fullness. It also gives the cake a slightly nutty, wholesome taste that blends beautifully with the rest of the ingredients. Now we add ½ cup of almond flour. This not only makes the cake richer in flavor but also adds protein and healthy fats. Almonds are known for boosting brain health and providing long-lasting energy, so this is not just cake, it is nourishment in every bite. To help our cake rise and stay soft, we add 1 teaspoon of baking powder and ½ teaspoon of baking soda, just enough to give it the lift without making it overly airy. Then comes a small pinch of sea salt, which balances out the sweetness and enhances the natural flavors, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon powder, which brings a comforting warmth and a fragrance that immediately reminds you of cozy kitchens and family gatherings. Moving on to the wet ingredients, we take 2 large eggs, which give the structure and hold everything together, but if you prefer a vegan choice, flax eggs can easily be used, made by mixing ground flax seeds with water until they gel. They add fiber and omega-3 while doing the same job as eggs. Then we add ½ cup of raw honey or pure maple syrup. These are natural sweeteners, far better than refined sugar. Honey brings antibacterial properties and energy, while maple syrup offers minerals and a beautiful earthy sweetness. To keep the cake moist and soft, we add 1/3 cup of olive oil or coconut oil. Both healthy fats that not only keep the texture perfect but also bring health benefits. Olive oil supports heart health and coconut oil brings a light sweetness along with medium-chain fats that are easier to digest. Now we pour in 1 full cup of unsweetened almond milk, which adds creaminess without heaviness. You could also use oat milk or regular milk depending on your choice. Finally, we add 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. This is what ties everything together. Its fragrance lifts the whole batter and makes the cake inviting even before it goes into the oven. But what makes this cake even more special are the additions that we fold in. ½ cup of freshly grated carrots for natural sweetness, moisture, and vitamins. ½ cup of mashed ripe bananas, which not only sweeten the cake further but also keep it soft and fluffy while adding potassium and fiber. And finally, a ¼ cup of chopped walnuts or almonds to give the cake that delightful crunch with every bite. Nuts make the cake heartier and more satisfying while adding omega-3 and protein. Now that we have all our ingredients ready, let us move to the process of bringing them together. We begin by preheating the oven to 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. As the oven slowly warms up, we prepare our cake tin, lightly brushing it with olive oil and lining it with parchment paper. This little step ensures the cake will come out easily and smoothly once baked. Now in a large mixing bowl, we carefully sift together the whole wheat flour, almond flour, baking powder, baking soda, salt, and cinnamon. Sifting is important because it removes any lumps and also allows air to pass through, which makes the cake lighter. As the powdery mixture falls through the sieve, it looks soft and delicate like a cloud. Once the dry ingredients are evenly combined, we put them aside and move to the wet mixture. In another bowl, we break the eggs and whisk them until they become slightly fluffy. Into this we pour the honey or maple syrup, then the oil, then the almond milk, and finally the vanilla extract, whisking constantly so that the liquid becomes smooth, shiny, and well blended. The mixture has a golden glow thanks to the honey and oil, and it smells sweet even at this stage. Now comes the gentle step of combining the two. We take the dry mixture and add it little by little into the wet bowl, folding gently with a spatula. We do not want to over-mix because the air that has been incorporated must remain inside to make the cake fluffy. Slowly the dry and wet come together into a creamy thick batter. Now we fold in the grated carrots, mashed bananas, and chopped nuts. With every fold the batter looks more textured and richer. Tiny orange specks of carrot, soft banana streaks, and nutty pieces show through the golden mixture, promising a cake that will be moist and full of flavor. We now carefully pour this beautiful batter into the prepared cake tin, tapping it gently on the counter to remove any air pockets. The surface is smoothed out with the back of the spoon and then the tin is placed in the oven. As the door closes, the heat begins to do its magic, slowly transforming the batter into a cake. Within minutes the kitchen fills with the fragrance of cinnamon, banana, and honey. The air feels warm and sweet, and it builds anticipation with every passing second. For about 45 to 50 minutes the cake bakes steadily, rising gently and turning golden brown. The nuts begin to roast inside, releasing their aroma, and the bananas caramelize, adding depth to the sweetness. When the time is right, we take a toothpick and insert it in the center. It comes out clean, which tells us the cake is baked perfectly. We take out the tin and set it on the counter, resisting the temptation to cut it right away, because cooling is important. As it rests for 15 minutes, the steam escapes slowly and the cake firms up, making it easier to slice later. While the cake cools, we prepare a light frosting that matches our healthy theme. In a bowl we take half a cup of thick Greek yogurt, add 2 tablespoons of honey, and a few drops of vanilla extract, whisking until it becomes smooth and creamy. This frosting is refreshing, tangy, and sweet at the same time, far lighter than buttercream but equally delightful. Once the cake has cooled, we spread this yogurt frosting over the top, letting it form a creamy white layer. Then we garnish with crushed walnuts, a few almond flakes, and maybe some slices of fresh strawberries for a splash of color. The finished cake looks beautiful, rustic yet elegant, and completely inviting. Now comes the best part, slicing and tasting. As the knife moves through the cake it cuts easily, revealing a soft crumb that is moist yet fluffy, dotted with carrot specks and nut pieces, with a gentle shine from the banana's moisture. One bite is enough to tell you how special this cake is. The natural sweetness from honey and banana is just right, not overpowering. The cinnamon adds warmth, the nuts bring crunch, and the yogurt frosting balances it all with a light creaminess. It is a cake that can be served for breakfast with a cup of tea, as an afternoon snack with coffee, or even as dessert after dinner. It is filling but not heavy, sweet but not artificial, and most importantly it leaves you satisfied and nourished instead of guilty. You can also experiment with this recipe. Instead of carrots, try zucchini or pumpkin for variety. Instead of walnuts you could add pecans, sunflower seeds, or even dried fruits like raisins and cranberries. Each variation brings new flavors while keeping the cake healthy. You can also make muffins with the same batter for lunchboxes or picnics. The batter is versatile and forgiving, and each time you make it you will discover a new way to enjoy it. This cake also stores well in an airtight container for 3 to 4 days without losing its softness. In fact, sometimes it tastes even better the next day when the flavors settle and deepen. Imagine enjoying a slice with morning tea, feeling the soft crumb melt in your mouth while knowing that everything you are eating is good for your body. This is what makes this recipe so special. Food like this is more than just taste, it is memory and emotion. The aroma of cinnamon and honey may remind you of childhood treats. The soft bite of banana may remind you of your grandmother's baking. And the warmth of sharing this cake with loved ones will create new memories for the future. This cake can be baked for birthdays, family dinners, or even as a weekend treat. It is simple yet meaningful, healthy yet indulgent, and above all made with love. When you place it on the table, people will be curious. They will take a bite and realize that healthy food can also be delicious. They will ask for the recipe and you will proudly share how easy it was, proving that baking can be both joyful and mindful. So whenever you crave something sweet but want to respect your health, this cake will be the answer, bringing together taste, nutrition, and happiness in one slice. And as you enjoy it, do not forget to spread the joy with others, because food made with care is best when shared, and sharing multiplies happiness. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel Health vs. Natural Bites. Thank you.